Buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride of some tasteless humor, lots of heart, and radical truth with two scrappy chicks. Because adulting is hard, but we are thinking that laughing about it is just so much easier. Hi, happy Friday. Probably going to put this out as soon as I'm done recording. Google lied. I asked it if there was a new episode of The Valley, and it said no. And then I looked on my Hulu recordings, and there is an episode. So don't always trust Google. So on this episode, we start back up with where we left off with Janet crying on the phone with Jason. And back to the table, Michelle calls Jesse a dick for getting on Janet. And Jesse says that she does not know how to communicate with people because she said she always runs away, which she did at the table. And there was a time before she was supposed to be talking with Jesse and Lacey, and you see her running off, giving Jesse the finger. So I kind of agree with him. And Nia is like kind of fed up with stuff because she said other people have done inappropriate things, that she's tired of Danny. You know, this whole season has been about Danny, inappropriate Danny. So I kind of agree with Nia. And people have done things, you know, in the past, and no one is focused on that, but they're dragging this thing out, you know, with Danny. And like I said, Nia's getting sick of it. Lacey finally arrives, and she goes to see the people who are at the pool. And she even says that everyone needs to get off of Danny's neck. Next you see Lala. So Kristen wasn't there. Like Lala and Brittany and a couple other people. They're on the beach letting out baby turtles. I don't know where they came from, but it was cute to see them go to the ocean. And Brittany was talking to Luke about Kristen, saying, you know, this isn't, you know, forever. She's just in the thick of it, so be patient with her. I've been there. And Luke's like, oh, okay, I'm not going anywhere. And we go back to the gang who went into town, and Michelle and Jesse, they all went into a store, and Michelle and Jesse were actually getting along and picking out some gifts for their daughter. And again, Michelle says to Jesse it feels weird to see him, you know, with Lacey being all affectionate, and that he wasn't like that with her. And Jesse's like, last year he had to see her with Aaron. So he pretty much says, suck it up, which I agree. And he says he's the new Jesse. So then they go to the beach, and next thing you know, well, Schwartzy gets in the water. And then next thing you know, Kristen takes off her top, and she's running into the water. And then Michelle was wearing a dress, and she took it off and was just in her underwear, and she's covering her chest. And I love Jesse. Jesse is very funny. He said, Michelle's telling him, don't look. And he's like, it's not like he hasn't seen it before, but when she's got the dress fully off and running into the water, he's like, I am sure this will be amazing for your real estate career. That was hilarious. Like I said, Jessie is real funny. And, of course, then we have Janet, who liked that. And, you know, she's got this infatuation with Michelle. And I don't know. Well, they don't have it on film yet, so I don't know if Michelle realizes about Janet. And I hear that they get, I think I was listening to Brittany's podcast, I hear they get to see the episodes before it released. So if Michelle didn't know yet, she certainly knows now that Janet has a crush on her. And it's funny watching Schwartzy squirm because he's trying not to look at the girl's boobs. Oh, man. Good times. So then everyone is getting ready because they're going to go out for Zacs' birthday to a club. And he tells them to dress slutty. And Jessie said in the 90s and the 2000s was his slutty era. And Lacey asked Jessie what happened with Janet at lunch. So he explained what happened. And he said that it got heated. And Michelle was like sticking up for Janet. And back at the girls' suite, they're talking about Janet's text, and where she said that Kristen says that Brittany, Zach, and Jasmine drink, that Brittany's popping off, and Jasmine says that Kristen is always willing to defend Danny and throw others under the bus. And Brittany's upset, but she's trying not to let that ruin her night. And next, Nia. We see Nia with Danny in their room, and she's telling Danny what happened at lunch. And then he tells Nia about, well, I met the rest of them at the pool, and they're all telling me they don't care if I drink. And that, you know, pretty much you do you. And he's like, kind of confused because he's like, what they're saying to me to my face and what they're saying behind my back are two different things, and he does not like it. So we'll see what happens with that. Next we go back to Zach's room. Him, Benji, and Schwartzy are getting ready, and Schwartzy has this like see-through like lacy top, and he's got white clown makeup on. And Schwartzy said that he always wanted to like be a goth guy, so I guess that was his time to shine and be a goth guy. So they go out to the big party bus, and Jasmine and Melissa decorated it with, oh my God, like you can imagine, you know, the rainbow stuff, balloons and that, and a whole bunch of dildos. Because if you haven't, I mean, you should know by now Zach is gay. So, they all start getting on the bus, and they're like all kind of weirded out of Tom's white makeup. And Danny and Nia are the only one that don't get on the bus because they're taking an Uber because she had to feed the baby. And Michelle has this really nice dress on where it crisscrosses across her breasts. And I guess they were slipping out, and Jesse's like, what the heck is going on with her? So that was the upper part. So Jesse and a couple, Kristen, Luke, go to the lower deck. And I guess Lala, Jesse, Lacey, Kristen, and Janet are on the lower deck. And Jesse said, here once again, Jesse and his funny stuff. He says, I left all the dicks upstairs to come down and play with some other dicks. So Brittany was sitting in front of Jesse and Lacey, and they have a conversation. And Jesse said that he is tired of the Danny and Nia stuff. And Brittany said that her being, categorized, grouped with Jax, how Jax has gone after people, has hurt her. And Jesse said to Brittany that he's got resentment, has had it for over a year. And I think it's where Brittany said Lacey will be one of many, and how he shouldn't have introduced her to Isabella. And Michelle was actually then there, and she starts piping in, and Jesse's like, and Janet's like, well, it's about her daughter too. And Brittany was like upset that she didn't know. Michelle said that they had a rule, and it was that you couldn't introduce the kid to like boyfriend, girlfriend, I think without each other's knowledge, like they had to discuss it within each other and that. And so it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It seems like they're going around in a circle. So then Lacey pipes in, and I honestly think she's the most sensible in the group. And she puts a kibosh on it, and tells Brittany, you know what? She was hurt by stuff Brittany said. She's like, I'm over it. We've moved on. You're lovely. And, kind of said the same thing with Michelle. And then said pretty much that, we're adults. And this is just getting, ridiculous. And then her, I don't know what they call it, but in Bachelor, they call it, was it OT? I don't know. It's where they do the little interviews. And Lacey said Jesse was spot on what he said, but it was his delivery that wasn't right. So Jesse does apologize to Brittany, and then the commotion upstairs, a bird craps on Zach, and then Melissa's like, well, that's supposed to be good luck. And then you see Zach getting hit in the head with something. At first I thought it was someone throwing a pie, and then I thought it was a bird flying into him. But this is a double-decker bus. So what happened was he got hit with a sign, and I'm still trying to figure that out, how he got hit and no one else did, because other people were standing up. So Um, he comes down to the lower level, and they say they got to take him to the hospital because it's a pretty good gash on the top of his head. But he tells everybody, I still want you to go to the club. I will meet you there. So they go to Mr. Flamingo. Danny and Nia show up, and they're told what happened with Zach. And they're having a good time. The guys are starting to dance, and Nia got uncomfortable with Danny and says no hip movement because she's afraid it's going to trigger others, his hip movement. And then Danny's getting upset, like, what the heck? You know, this is ridiculous. And Danny starts going up to other people and saying, is this going to make you feel uncomfortable? You know, my dancing? So Danny, Jesse, and Luke go up these stairs, and they go on this catwalk, and they're dancing. And Danny's got the moves. And I didn't hear anybody say they were uncomfortable. In fact, they were cheering on the guys that were dancing up there. So, I guess he was fine. But the word uncomfortable was said quite a bit. Next, we see Zach come back, and he has a bandage. And it reminds me of back in the day when you got a bandage because you got a tooth pulled. So it's wrapped underneath your chin to the top of your head several times. That's what it reminded me of. But I guess it was for his cut on the top of his head, and they wanted to apply pressure to it so it stops bleeding. And then one of the side stories Zach does, he said that he once went to a club with Tom Schwartz, and Tom gave the stripper, I would assume it was a male stripper, because it didn't say if it was male or female, but I'm assuming if Zach was with them, it was a male. That Tom gave a stripper a $50 gift card to Applebee's, and he put it in their crack. Oh my God. Schwartzy too he's quirky, but he's funny too. So then they get on the bus, but it's not their same big double-decker bus. It's like a white transit bus, and there's a lot of them in there, and it seems crowded. And Danny goes all the way to the back to lay down, and he kept saying he doesn't like Michelle, and isn't there any other buses, and he was going to then come to the front. I guess he wasn't feeling good. And so Nia went back there to put his head in her lap. And then he discovered it was after midnight. It was his birthday. And Janet says she has to pee. And they're like, just pee in a cup. She goes, no, I'll hold it. Well, she does pee in a cup, and people are like, oh my God. She's holding her pee in the cup, and if it gets like rough road, all it's going to take is to hit a good bump, and that pee in Janet's cup's going to go flying behind her, and guess who's behind her? Nia. That would have not been too cool. I can't believe she peed in a cup on the bus. Okay. And Zach said that it was his favorite birthday. So I think by now he's okay. His head is okay. It seemed like in the interview in the moment that he was okay. So that's where it ends. So I guess we pick up where it's Danny's birthday, and I think there's that, and then there's the finale. I don't know if they're back in California with the finale. And then the reunion. I don't know how many episodes with the reunion. Still haven't heard for sure of season 4, but apparently Kristen Dowdy says yes, there is. So they should probably be starting to film soon. And as far as next week, I'll have Monday the McBee Dynasty, and then Wednesday will be the Valley. Like I said, we got a couple more episodes, and then the reunion. And then I think it's Thursday. Real Housewives of the OC come back, so I'll be doing recaps of that. And then I've seen, I think it's on Peacock, Married at First Sight. So I don't know if they're going to totally drop the whole season or what. I will have to look into that. And then Dancing with the Stars Pro. Robert Irwin is hosting that. So I'm going to watch that too. We have successfully moved over to a different platform, Captivate. And thanks for having us, Captivate. Wasn't too hard to do. There was just steps that I was missing. And then once I did it, then I was like, okay, now we're good. So, and then once again, why we moved to Captivate was they go by the download instead of paying for hours. Like we had 6 hours of recording time a month with Buzzsprout, and for the same amount of money, it goes by downloads, and we're nowhere near that mark yet. Hopefully we will someday. So yeah, this is why we switched, because we really want to grow, and then we were able to put out more content. Should be doing a recap of Toy Story 5 with my daughter. And let's see. Oh, Real Housewives, Rhode Island. Liz put out, she's not coming back for the second season. Andy told her she's always welcome. Kind of understand why she decided not to, and I will still be following her because her and Dolores are making those menopause gummies. So yeah, I can't wait. And Taylor Frankie Paul. I mean, there was rumors of The Bachelorette playing this month. I don't know if it's going to happen. She had issue with Dakota calling the cops because he thinks she broke a contact rule, so we'll find out about that. A no contact rule. And then now Taylor's first husband, she has 2 kids with, filed a restraining order, and the judge didn't give it to him. So I think the 8th is Taylor's next court date with Dakota on custody with their child. So I guess stay tuned for that. And I'm trying to think if there was any other reality stuff. Oh, Jasmine and Melissa got married, so congratulations to them. A couple of the people from the Valley were able to go, and Jasmine, I know she was on The Bachelor. I want to say, was it Nick's season? I think it was Nick Vile's season. So there was Bachelor people there, people from the Valley, and then I guess Jasmine was also a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, which I didn't know. So then she had those friends too. So mixture of friends, but yeah, congratulations to them, and a big congratulations to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They put up on Madison Square Garden, just married. And then her publicist released a little thing that she didn't have bridesmaids, that her man of honor was her brother. Travis's man of honor, or best man, was his brother. And Adam Sandler officiated. And I was like blown away. I love Adam Sandler. And I had no clue he was friends with them. But he does live in that area, New York, so, yeah. So, there's no pictures or anything, because supposedly the guests weren't allowed, but, what was I looking at? I was looking at Reels, and this one girl said that maybe she's having it filmed inside, and she's going to release it like a special on Disney or something. So I guess we shall see. But yeah, congratulations. I thought their little love story was cute, how they met and everything. So yeah, happy for them. You know, I love love. You know, if we could only. I know some people are like, I'm not a fan. You know, that's fine. If you're not a fan of somebody, that's fine, but you see a lot of people, they have no problem putting in like postings and that. Who cares? You know, if only we could work on being less negative, you know, and be more positive. And if you don't like somebody, just keep scrolling. Why post the bad? Who do you really think the person's going to care that you don't like them? You know? I mean, I think we can do better at showing kindness. And, you know, I know there's a couple actors I like their acting, but them on a personal basis, they're a little mouthy. But I'm just like, all right, you know, let them. And I just don't engage in it. So like I said, I think we could all be a little bit nicer. And I think I hear thunder. And earlier, storms came through. Did not really get anything here as far as bad, but the next tunnel overdid. And I guess up in Wisconsin, Lake Geneva overturned a boat, and 3 people lost their lives. So just, this is the time with the weather, so just be aware of the weather, and if you're out in it, try to get to a safe place. I mean, we've seen the one guy, he was in a mobile home, and it's truly a miracle that he's still alive. It's like, Oh, it's just a crazy video. You look and see him in the dark, and then all of a sudden it cuts out, and then he comes back, and it's bright out, and that's because his house is demolished around him. And it's just a miracle that he didn't get hurt. So yeah, don't, I should probably do a storm safety podcast. But yeah, just be safe out there. And happy 4th of July tomorrow. Happy 250th birthday, America. And be safe. Don't be blowing off fireworks if they're illegal in your state. Be mindful of people with dogs, like our 3-year-old dog doesn't like fireworks, and the puppy, this is new to her, she did not like it, and I'm trying not to make a big deal with her. I don't want to put fear into her, so I'm just like, it doesn't bother me. Storms is what bothers me. It's the wind. But yeah, I don't want her developing a fear and shake like the other one. I just want her to be like, oh, it's no big deal. But so far it's what, 10? It's 10:15 Central Time. And the neighbors have stopped blowing off fireworks, which is good. And there's the rain, which is good, because then I don't have to water my garden or my flowers. We got the rain. So, all right. Well, that is it. Again, happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. 250 years. And I think we could, like I said, we could all do better and be more kinder, going forward. Why don't you, I challenge you all, pay it forward. All right, till next time. Bye.
We love our Scrappy Peeps. So thank you all for joining us and becoming part of our flock. So please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't like us, unfortunately, yo mama. But if you do like us, we look forward to seeing you next time on Two Scrappy Chicks.